Do you like this pick, Jordan Poole, by the Warriors?
Maybe the worst pick in the draft so far. This is a guy that you likely could have gotten as an undrafted free agent. So this is such an overdraft. But this is an absolutely inexplicable pick by the Warriors.
Really quick, before I begin, if you guys can smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, this seriously makes a huge difference to my videos and lets YouTube know to recommend this video to a brand new audience. So thank you so much for doing that, and let's begin.
At 28, who are you taking? Bol still on the board. Kevin Porter Jr. still on the board. KZ Okpala, the talented kid out of Stanford. Keldon Johnson still there for Kentucky.
You know who I like most is someone you didn't even mention but got a green room invite, Nick Claxton. I spoke to Tom Crean, Claxton's college coach, a couple of days ago. He said indications from NBA franchises were that Nick was likely to be a first-round pick, and in fact he got a green room invite, which would signify that. But I think that he, because of his defensive ability, he's closing in on 7 feet. He was trained actually by Crean as a guard to try and accelerate him along his NBA path. If I was Golden State, Claxton would make a lot of sense here for me with what we could do. But in fact, they go with him. We are having some shockers here.
Is he in the crowd?
Jordan Poole.
I don't even think he's at his own table.
No, because he didn't get a
right. So he's just chilling out in the crowd like everybody else.
Just hanging out in the crowd.
This happens occasionally. You'll have guys because they don't get the invite. They're like, no,
yeah, I'm still
I
going.
want to be there. I want to be there. I can be there. Jordan Poole as a first-round pick.
John Beeline's happy right now.
He is happy. Golden State as a franchise with their front office has done so many great things over the past half decade and beyond here. I don't see this. I think Jordan Poole has a lot of growing to do with his game. Solid shooter, but undersized. I know that Golden State's going to have issues with not having Clay and then Kevin Durant and all this stuff, if he's going to come back or not. I don't see how Jordan Poole cracks more than 5 or 6 minutes a game on that roster, even with that. Golden State sees something, but to me, Jordan Poole was not a top 50 prospect in this draft.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense to me. I would give it a D grade.
Okay.
Jordan Poole is a fine college basketball player who might turn into a relevant rotation guy in the NBA, but with so many upside guys on the board, if you're Golden State, I'd either want to get somebody with more upside or somebody who I think can help me next season. I'm not sure Jordan Poole's either one of those things.
Avery, what do you make of this pick? Jordan Poole to the Golden State Warriors at 28 overall.
Well, I wouldn't quite give it a D. I would give it a C minus.
That's close to
Close enough. C minus, D, doesn't matter.
But I just think this is primarily with Klay Thompson's injury in mind. Not that Jordan Poole can replace Klay Thompson. They're just looking at, in their mind, who's the best player available, that when Steph Curry breaks down the defense, he can kick it out to somebody that can shoot. You're going to miss Klay Thompson. Kevin Durant's going to, whether he leaves via free agent or returns and picks up his 1-year option or leaves and goes to the Knicks. You got to have guys that can shoot the ball. And I think they're under the assumption that this kid can come in and make shots for them. They don't need him to be a playmaker. They're just thinking about somebody that when Draymond is breaking the defense down, Steph is moving without the ball, they probably think he can be a guy that can move without the ball. He's not a great pick and roll player when he's on the ball, but he's definitely somebody that can space the floor.
Reed, it's expected that Klay Thompson will sign his max deal, stay with Golden State. We, of course, don't know what Kevin Durant's going to do, have a redshirt season, opt in, take the money, and rehab with Golden State instead of going elsewhere. We don't know in terms of what he's going to do. Klay Thompson probably going to stay with the Golden State Warriors. With that being said, do you like this pick, Jordan Poole, by the Warriors?
Maybe the worst pick in the draft so far.
There we go.
And there's nothing against Jordan Poole. No offense, dude. I think the guy could be a rotation NBA player someday. But if you're going to get a guy who can come in and make shots, you're picking a sophomore. You're picking a guy who's 20 years old and has some growth to do. This is a guy that you likely could have gotten as an undrafted free agent. So this is such an overdraft. Like, when we talk about that Cam Johnson pick at number 11 being an overdraft, this is much more of an overdraft. There's less at stake here because you're picking in the low 20s. You're not picking in the lottery. But this is an absolutely inexplicable pick by the Warriors.
All right, so just to recap here, Gary says it's a D. Avery says it's a C-, which is essentially a D, and then basically without saying anything, Ried there, he basically gave it an F. It was the worst pick of the draft. I mean, that's basically what he gave it, right? He said it was the worst pick in the draft. That would be equal to an F, that they failed. The Golden State Warriors haven't failed much in the last 5 years. They did fail this past year in the NBA Finals, but they go with Jordan Poole at 28 overall.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. That clip was from the CBS Sports HQ coverage of the 2019 NBA Draft. Look, we all know drafting is a hit and miss process, especially when you're drafting in the late 20s and the second rounds. It's hit and miss, I understand. But in this day, where everybody needs to have a hot take, the CBS crew went hard and strong on the Golden State Warriors drafting Jordan Poole with the 28th pick. The analyst that went the hardest was former CBS writer Ried Forgrave, who called Poole maybe the worst pick in the draft, and added, "This is a guy that likely could have gotten as an undrafted free agent, so this is such an overreach." He wasn't done digging a hole though. He continued by noting the guy the Warriors drafted at 28th overall was an absolutely inexplicable pick by the Warriors. We all know what Jordan Poole has been this year. He's been a sensation. He has started over 50 games this season for the Warriors, and he's been amazing in his first playoff series against the Denver Nuggets. In his first 4 playoff games, he is averaging 34 minutes a game, 24 points, 6 assists, 1.5 steals per game, and shooting an amazing 59% from the field and 51% from 3. Like I said before, being a draft analyst isn't easy. But what is easy is to avoid bold claims that can look incredibly wrong with some hindsight. What do you think, guys? Do you think this is one of the worst draft takes that we've seen in some time? Or if there's another one, let me know in the comments down below. Alright guys, that'll wrap up today's video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, that really helps my channel out. If you like this type of content, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!
Maybe the worst pick in the draft?